Okay, welcome to Google Earth. You will see from this viewpoint that you are looking down onto Cheshire Drive as an entirety. We're actually looking onto Cheshire Drive from the viewpoint that the satellite pretty much had. I want to draw your attention in this picture, first off, to the date. The great thing about Google Earth is it actually allows you to go back in time. And you will notice that the date of this image is, well, according to this, is the 12th of the 31st of the 12th, 2000. So this is Google Earth's oldest image, 20 years ago. You can see the road. You can zoom around the road. You can use this yourself. It's a freely available program that you can make use of time and time again to allow you to take a look at the history of a neighbourhood and to work out exactly what's going on and what might be factors involved with such items like, for example, maybe squirrel infestations. Now, you're blaming this on my drain pipe. My drain pipe existed there. My drain pipe was there into the year 2000. I haven't changed my drain pipes. I haven't touched my drain pipes. I haven't done anything. Now, I appreciate squirrels can climb up drain pipes, but I don't see them choosing to do so. I see them choosing to go up trees. Now, right here, we're at the year 2000. Now, take a look closely at those trees. Now, look. From the angle of the satellite, we can see the side of number 17's house. You can see it, the white bit. You can see the little tree growing below it, and you can get a general impression from there that there is no foliage there that's more than about 3/4 of the way up the side of that house. No access. No squirrel access. Well, apart from, of course, the pre-existing drain pipes, which have now all of a sudden become the squirrel's favourite playground. You take a look at I've scrolled it now so that it's more centralised on 21 and 19. You can see the big tree, council tree in the middle of the road, and you can see the two hedges on either side of 19. And you can get a general impression there that those hedges 20 years ago were not high enough to be of a general problem. They had no issue. And lo and behold, 20 years ago, nobody on this block had any squirrel issues at all. We all had drain pipes. But we had no squirrel issues. That's 20 years ago. Let's use the Google Maps to go forward a bit in time. Now, of course, Google only takes periodic pictures, but what they do is they white mark when they've done a change of data. Now, that's a really bloody awful picture, so we'll skip past that one. So we'll go to the next one. It's still not a great picture. It's not really telling us an awful lot. We can see the trees at the edge of number 17 have grown a little bit. We can actually see the second little tree, the one that's the actual problem, poking out of the first bigger tree that's actually further away from the roof than here. So here at 2002 we can see that end tree is beginning to create in itself a little bit of space to get up. The hedges, it's an awful picture, we can't tell, but the shadows are giving me here an indication that at this point in time the hedgerows between 19 and 21 are not a problem. Those conifer trees are not a problem. And indeed, 2002, 15 years ago, 17 years ago, no problem with squirrels. No one was talking about them. So let's go forward again. Let's see if we can find a later white mark to go to. So now we're at 2005, so we're now talking 12 years ago. And again, bit blurry of a photo, not really telling us an awful lot, but we are beginning to see those trees at number 17 group up. We've got a nice little cluster of trees right there at the end, creating a nice little playground for squirrels. We've got it close to the hill at the back, we've got it close to the land on the flats. So really, these trees are becoming the last bastion of squirreldom coming from this area and from here. And really, what are you thinking is going on with this thing? We now come to, let's see, this is 2009, and this is a really crap picture. So we're now talking 10 years ago. Again, awful picture. Let's see, is there a later one? There we go. 2009, and this one's claiming to be December the 31st. Amazing how we always get the New Year satellite over here. But Google is claiming that this is 2009. And although I'm a bit sceptical about it coming over on New Year's Day every year, I'm going to say that Google probably are pretty close to the mark when it comes to the year. So we're looking now, and look at the hedge between 17 and 20, between 19 and 21. It's cutting off at this point already 3/4 of your view of my garden. It's coming up close to the edge of the thing. This is 2009. This is 10 years ago. Also, look at your 2 trees down at the bottom in your council land. You've got the bigger one, but look at that little one and how that one is now beginning to shrub out. It's not quite yet to a point where it's a problem, but 2009, 10 years ago, squirrels weren't being reported then. They were being reported 5 years ago. Well, actually, no, 3 years ago. Sorry, my mistake. So we're looking for what might have changed over 3 years. Again, my drain pipe's there. My drain pipe is on that wall. You can't... It is there. Trust me. Google Earth might not show it, but it actually is there. You have a drain pipe on that wall. And no squirrel problems at this time. (2012) crappy picture, crappy sodding picture. It really doesn't give us a lot to go on. I don't know why Google Earth even bothered with those. 2014. So now we're looking at 2014, and now we're seeing 5 years ago. This is 2 years before the squirrels actually came out. Look at how much closer now the trees are to the top of the houses. Look at your one at 17. The big tree still doesn't really appear to have changed much, but that little tree off to the side is definitely getting higher. The conifers between me and 21 are shooting up dramatically. I mean, they are. They're damn near now at the point. They are already at 2014. They were already high enough that a squirrel could jump from them onto the roof. So we're already looking now at the image where this starts becoming an inviting property for squirrels to actually move into. Okay? The drain pipes are still there. Now, let's have a look at the next one. So the next white line is the next data point. 2017. So we're looking 2 years ago. 2 years ago. So this is the height of the squirrel problems. This is the point when it all started to blow up in my face. This is when I tore my fascia down. This is when I was spending every other week up on my roof trying to fix it. Now, actually no, this might be just before that period or just after it. I'm not quite certain. My knowledge of dates is shit. In fact, I can tell you now, I look at this and I can tell you now, this is just after. So this is just after people started to get me involved. And I know this because I can see that gap in that hedge there. Bear with me, pull out. Let's see if I can get a decent view for us all. You have my apologies, I'm new to Google Earth. I don't often use it. So let's go back in, and you've got the situation there. And you can already see, I mean, I don't have to flip in. I mean, you don't have to be a brain reader to see 2 years ago, those trees are providing access. And let's see if I can get a ground view. Sorry about this. Those trees are providing access. I've already tried my best to chop the fuckers down. I really have. And excuse my language, but this is annoying me. This is really, really annoying me, and I'm just about had enough of it. Look at the way their trees are growing into my garden. What you're seeing now is 2 years on. Those trees were out into my garden. They were up onto the roof, and they were allowing a squirrel access onto that roof. This would be probably just after I tried to hack the first one down, failed. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you look at the side, you can actually see the gap where I tried to create a... sorry, bear with me, let's get out of this street view. You can actually see the gap on the roof where I've actually tried hacking at the trees to start with. I've spotted it just a few moments ago. Sorry, every time I try to get close it wants to go to ground view. But if you twist this so that we can see it, you can see there's a gap there already in that foliage. Google Earth is reporting that foliage there is being cut back. I'm talking about the bit between 19 and 21, and you can see that's been cut back. That was up onto the houses, over the roofs, and the squirrels didn't even they weren't even having to jump. They could just step off the branches onto the roof. It's me who cut those branches back. What you are looking at here is definitely after the first attack. You can even see the rubbish of my thingy on my porch. If you look at the back porch, you can actually see. So this is definitely after they got me involved for the first time. Now look at that hedge. I'm the one who's cut that hedge back. The rest of the hedge, if it wasn't for me, that hedge between me and 22, or between me and 17, was right flush against the house and was providing the squirrels get up on the roof, cross over the roof to the edge of my house. They were drilling into the edge of my fascia at the flipping side near 23, running all the way along that little hole up into 19. And 19 was going absolutely schizo at me over it. They were going utterly fucking schizo at me over it. And I was getting really pissed off at them. So I went up there, I fixed it. The squirrel came along and ate into it again. It fixed it again. I tried to get them to cut the trees down. They had no interest in doing so. So what I did was I looked up there. I was growing sick of having to fix my own roof every 10 minutes. So I pulled the fascia down. I didn't know where the squirrels were getting up onto the roof at that point. Now, this is before this image. Now, we go on a few months. I'm paying attention. I don't want to pay attention, but I'm having to. I'm a lazy bastard. I don't want to do this shit. I don't want to do anything for anybody. But I was being forced into it. So I'm there. I'm paying attention. I'm noticing where the squirrels are going. I'm paying attention to what's happening up on the roof, because everything I'm doing is failing. So far, I've managed to get my so I tear my fascia off, and it stops the problems. And then I stop paying attention. Apart from the fact that I see a squirrel up on 23's house every morning then, gnawing away at his front fascia. And that's when it switched from the back fascia to the front fascia of the next row of houses along, was when I knocked my fascia out, because then it lost interest. It didn't have its little rat run. It attacked him. It did his side house. It then went to the front of his house. This is before these trees had been cut. I really didn't want to get involved. I'm a lazy little toad. But I had some time on my hands. I went to number 19. I said, listen, they're still attacking his bloody house. You know, you need to pull your trees down before they turn around and they start coming back for us. And she had no fucking interest in doing it whatsoever. So in the end, I went up there and I cut those trees back, which is what you are now looking at, the result of that. But I think that's the first time I cut them back. I think they're now more severe. I think that's the first time, and I think that was failing then, because by that point the trees had grown again, the squirrel was moving across to the tree again, and it was nibbling shit out of number 23's house. Now that's 2017. Look at number 17's front. Now, that big tree that I've been telling you about, still not moved. But that little tree in that time is now right up near 17's roof edge. And so is the one in their own garden. Now, we have a year of peace. When I cut those trees down, between me and number 17, and I finally got it right, we have had a year of peace. The drain pipes have gone nowhere. My fascia hasn't changed. This picture proves my fascia has been like that for 2 years. And the reason it's been like that for 2 years is because until the squirrels stop attacking our roofs, if I put that fascia back, I'm just giving the squirrel what it wants, which is a nice little rat run to go and hide in. So it stayed down. Now I can put that fascia up in 2 weeks. It'd take me a day to actually nail it to the roof, but painting, preparing the wood, that type of shit, by the time I'm finished, 2 weeks I could have that fascia up and I wouldn't have been breaking a sweat. Me doing that work is not an issue, but the minute I do that work, that squirrel is going to attack the side of my house. It's going to be in through that fascia, and it's going to be using it as a rat run to get all the way through to 23, all the way through to 17. And the reason it's going to be able to do that is because it is getting up somebody's trees. And the two most likely suspects at the moment are in your land, well, Parks and Gardens, and 17's land. Now, the way 19's trees are growing, in another year or two, there's a couple of branches there that are going to give squirrels access up onto the leaves, up onto the trees again. So they are going to need to be maintained to keep the squirrels off the roofs. But to come and attack me, to come and say that I'm the one to blame, you clearly haven't done any investigation, because the data's here. It's clear to see. It really is clear to see. There's no, you know. What can I say? If you even try to take me to court, this is what I'm going to be presenting against you. And I mean, that plus the fact that I've got a grate in place that's been in place for a year, that plus the fact that the overall times, everything about it shows that the squirrel attacks, the timings of them, the timings of the way the trees grow, everything evidences that these squirrels are using the trees to get up onto the roofs and are attacking the roofs, which makes me as much of a victim as everybody else. Now, if the squirrels are getting up my drain pipes, I will happily shield off my drain pipes. But the evidence is that the squirrel attacks are coming in patterns when the trees are allowing them access. And right now, it's your tree that's allowing them access, not me. So to come to me with the letter you come to me with, I find exceptionally disrespectful. It's created no amount of harm to my well-being over this weekend. I have thrown up over this. I am worried sick. I'm doing my best now to try and stay as calm as I possibly can in the face of court action for something that is not my fault, for something that I have actually taken every step, despite the fact that it is nothing to do with me. I've taken every step to try and help these people out with their situation. And you come to me with that letter. How do you think I feel? This is going to my lawyer. Thank you very much.